right, I believe we have possibly the largest match of Rocket League that this school has ever had. But we are here, we are ready. It is USM versus Nichols for the ECAC Grand Finals.
It's do or die here for USM. Either we win or we still finish the best that we've ever finished in the ECAC. So either way, I think it's a win, but these guys are not shooting for second place. So this is going to be a great match. And I know that Nichols was pretty dominant throughout the season, but I would say that this USM squad might be their biggest competition that they faced.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the playoffs, if you look at this current bracket so far and what USM has gone through, we've gone through two undefeated teams, the second and the third seed, both having wonderful seasons themselves, respectively. But I believe that just we've seen some better gameplay from USM.
Yeah, they've looked very impressive. And looks like everybody's ready, so we are going to get right into game one. Kickoff is going to go into USM's possession and taken away from Pyros. Now he's kind of their star player, the guy to look out for if you're USM.
100%.
And starting off quick, we've got Nichols flicking the ball into the USM net. Not sure what happened. Lucas got caught out and he was getting chased away from the net. Not much he could do there. So hopefully they can regain off that initial goal.
Yeah. You can go for it.
Well, I was just going to point out that most of the time when we have these matches, nobody scores for the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game, but that might have been the quickest goal that we've seen in a game from them.
Yeah, I believe you are just right on point with that. One thing to note in the previous matchup earlier in the regular season, it was a 4-0 sweep for Nichols. But you would kind of have to give a credit to USM. I believe all but one match that they played was 1-goal games. I think 2 of them went into overtime. They came out of that match, although the losers definitely not holding their heads down. They came out of that experienced against this team. So we'll have to see how that correlates to this matchup here.
Yeah, and I didn't get to watch that first matchup between these two teams, but I have seen a lot of improvement from USM in the past few weeks, so I know that they are not the same USM squad that Nichols saw earlier on in the season.
No. We got a chance here for Darian, and Darian's going to do what he's been doing all season, bringing up the rear, doing exactly what he needs to be doing, find the right spot to be at the right time. Gets the USM's
Tucked
first goal.
Right onto the post.
Right there.
Great goal.
That's a tie.
And that's a big equalizer.
Huge equalizer. Let's tie this game up, about 3:30 left to go.
And Darian's going to take off again. He goes to the backboard. He maybe was looking for the ceiling there, wasn't able to get it. And that's going to be handled by Pyros. A good clear long. Darian's going to do his best to stop it. A little bit of back and forth in the midfield. Maybe a chance for Nichols. Demo's going to come out, and Darian's going to do a good job in the corner.
We see a 50.
Big 50.
Switch fields here. Pyro's going to send it down. Darian's going to be there. Shot for Troy. He's going to go off the bar. Pyro sends a shot off the crossbar. And USM are going to escape that possession. Still tied at 1.
Yeah, they got away with one there, and Nichols not exactly sharp shooting there, sniping the crossbar, but that's not how you get your goals. But I couldn't see what happened. The player I was spectating was demoed, but obviously Nichols gets one back there.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were too happy about that, and they definitely showed it on the field. I believe 2 demos, but can't really complain about that. Either avoid them or just get hit. But
yeah,
either way, 2-1 Nichols early on, still in this game 1. Looking to see what USM's got to say.
Yeah, we just hit the halfway point, so there's plenty of time, and definitely not going to be too stressed out if you're USM. Don't have to rush anything. Just keep playing your game. It is the early stages of this series. So,
very much so. Especially if you were tuned into last night's game, you would know that at no point are USM mathematically eliminated until the game is over.
Yeah, that's right. Darian again trying to look for the ceiling, isn't able to connect once more, but Hydra's gonna do some work in the midfield. He gets demoed, but that could be dangerous for Nichols. It looks like another demo came out, so that's gonna cut that attack short. Nichols are very aggressive with these bump and demo attempts.
I was like, they are seemingly more aggressive than even we are, and I thought we were a fairly aggressive team on the bumps and demos. And
there's another one.
There's Pyro's, I believe Pyro's first goal of this series.
Yeah, just got up to that very quick, was able to keep it under the crossbar that time. And that's 3-1 now, so maybe gotta ramp it up a bit here if you're USM. A minute 30 is plenty of time, but it also can start to tick down pretty quick if you're not getting any opportunities on net. And they're gonna start out on defense here, so let's see if they can get something going here for a final push. It's gonna be a demo from Darian. Another demo attempt, but USM struggling to get this ball out of the half right now. Hydra's gonna take it to the wall, but he's beat out by Bren. And Lucas with a good hit to the corner and a follow up 50, but we're looking a little low on boost.
Saw a double commit there
Hydra
from Nichols.
well.
Corner.
Yeah, that seemed to kind of stunt the attack. And we'll see if we're able to gain possession, even when the ball's on the Nichols half.
That was a nice fake there
That's
from
a great
Pyros.
pass, but another crossbar hit.
USM definitely coming out of here. Little, I was just about to say USM coming out of here a little bit luckier, but then yeah, Pyros goes and does that.
It is a little concerning right now because the scoreline's 4-1, but honestly, it could be even steeper than that. So USM's going to have to try to get some offensive pressure and look for an answer. At this point, game one might just be out of reach, but if they can just build up a little bit of momentum, even if they don't score a goal, just show in this last 20 seconds that they can get something going on offense.
Yeah,
they'll be feeling a little bit better going into game two with a fresh 0-0 start. Good pinch there.
A pinch clear here for USM. Goes down in the corner for Pyros. He's going to try and keep possession of it, really. And that will conclude game one. Nichols is able to grab that 4-1. And USM is going to start 0-1 down this series.
Yeah, so an interesting game one. Looked maybe a little nervy out of USM. They, especially on defense, didn't really... they looked a little out of character, but definitely started off just fine. You know, 1-1 scoreline looking good. And then after Nichols got their second goal, it just started to get a little bit out of reach. The pendulum swung way in Nichols' favor, and there just wasn't enough time to get it back. So they get to start fresh here. That's the silver lining for game two.
Yeah. First start with all these games, and from what I'm seeing, although it is definitely going to be a steep task to attempt to stop Pyros, that is definitely going to be on their radar to at least maybe not completely stop him, as he is, as I believe I know he is an SSL, so everyone knows his kind of capabilities, but at least limit his capabilities as best as USM can do.
Yeah, and I think for that, it's just going to be picking and choosing your battles with him. If you're going to jump up at the same time as him, he's probably going to beat you. That's just the reality. You want to try to be proactive with those challenges on him. Guess when he's going to go up for it and cut it out before he gets the chance, or just, you know, wait to see what he's going to do and have a good answer for it.
Yeah.
But if they are just going to send it at everything he does, I have a feeling he's going to get beats more often than not. So USM is really going to have to step up the pace, especially when defending Pyros, because he is definitely going to be moving quick.
Yeah, and I'm not all that against immediately challenging him as soon as he goes up, because that's in reality that's gonna do is that's gonna force him to go in one direction. And as long as USM's able to coordinate between each other, that one person's gonna go up and say the next defender is gonna go down, that should guarantee a save or at least a good block there for USM, and that's gonna start off. That's gonna bring USM's momentum a little bit back into this, starting game 2 off. I would say that's planned. That was planned by Lucas.
Yeah, great 50, rolls all the way across the field. Nobody back for Nichols, and USM has their first lead of the series here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying about Pyros. I think if we're gonna meet him, you know, one-on-one, that it's going to be really important that the second man doesn't get beat by him. If he's getting beats on 2 players out of USM, that's going to make it really hard for the last man to work 2-on-1 against those other Nichols players. So we're going to have to try to shut him down with the first man. And if we can just go even if he's winning the majority of his challenges, if we're just limiting the amount of damage that's done on them, I think we can keep this match under control.
Yeah. Darian here gets a demo on Troy and is going to give USM possession again. Taken away by Pyros. Yeah. Nice save there from High off on the right side. Troy's going to play it off the backboard. Trying to look for someone else, but can't get a pass. Hyder's going to cut it off in the midfield and see what he can do with it.
Decent challenge. Lucas up challenging Pyros.
Nice.
He's going to get the better of him that time.
Oh, yeah, wonderful
which is very good to see.
there.
Yeah, and a good pass to follow it up. It was blocked out, but USM's putting on the pressure right now.
I'll say I'm liking this little switch up here from USM.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot faster, a lot more confident with their challenges, and really just a complete turnaround from what we saw in the second half of game 1. So good job for them adjusting and figuring out this Nichols offense. I think that was the problem, is Nichols was just permanently in our zone. So we're finding ways to break out, and we're doing a good job working together.
Yeah. You see Nichols on the counterattack here. Troy gets it down to Bren, but Darian's going to be in the way of that. Gets a nice save out in the corner. And Ty's going to get a wonderful clear. Gets it by both defenders. He's going to have a chance to counterattack. Tries a pinch. Tyus is going to be there.
Yeah, and this is where he could be dangerous. Lucas is actually going to cut that one out right away. But now in space, it's going to be over Hydra. He gets a bit of a ghost touch there. And now USM just on no boost, so that's kind of what I was talking about there. Pyros getting the better of the first man, and nobody's able to meet him on the second go around. And he doesn't actually end up following it up, but because there's no follow-up on his challenge, USM's all out of sorts on defense. They were out of boost, and that's going to be a goal most of the time. But on the other end, I don't know who that was in net, but it looked like someone had a misflip out of Nichols.
I believe that was Pyros.
You probably don't see that very often.
Yeah, you definitely don't see that very often, but we will gladly take it. Thank you for the kind donation.
Yeah, definitely. And probably the best case scenario, just answering right off the kickoff and regaining the lead. So 2 minutes left. Still lots of time as it was last game, but USM definitely still has the momentum. And that's not what you want to see. Just weren't even able to break out of their zone since the kickoff. And that was a great touch from Pyros beating the defender. And Darian did his best on that challenge. It was a tough spot for him to be in. So, unfortunate goal, but still even in this game too.
Yeah. See, Nichols on the attack yet again off the backboard. Pyros almost gets a shot on net. Send it off.
That's a big miss.
Yeah, off the bar there.
Pyros, he's just doing so much work. He was doing what he was doing, and then his teammate came in and wasn't able to make contact with the ball, and he's just right back in there making plays. And he almost gets the double there. Hydra doesn't have any boost, but he's able to make a good save. Lucas clears it out of danger for the moment, but Troy's going to have it right back at the backboard. And right now, USM burning a lot of boost and not able to get this ball clear. It's going to be another pass, and Hydra's not going to be able to block that one. Just not enough boost, not able to get their clears, and just all the boost control and map control out of Nichols. So all that momentum that we had, it seems to be gone, but there's still a minute left, and you know, just one good play is all it takes for an equalizer. So now it's us on the back foot, but definitely still very doable.
Yeah, and going into these next games here, USM's going to have to definitely figure out something about this boost rotation here, because I mean, you saw that in both of these Nichols' most recent goals here, they've been absolutely killing us on those rotations, getting, like you said, getting all the boost pads, filling up their tanks while we're left empty, all dry, and that could get us started.
That was a great chance.
I could have gotten us started, but played wide.
Still lots of pressure here, trying to connect on passes, but we're just not able to. And of all the people that have boost on Nichols, you wouldn't want it to be Pyros, and he does well to relieve the pressure for the moment. But we are doing a lot better here, meeting another challenge, keeping it in their zone. Pyros is going to be low boost here. We need to be the first one to this ball. It's going to be Darian going up. He puts a light shot on target and it's blocked away. Lucas gets it middle and it's cut out. We're not going to be able to reach it, and Nichols takes game 2. It really felt like that one was stolen away from us.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. I mean, you saw that early lead, and especially even after the fact it was tied up, you saw USM get that 2-1 goal, a 2-1 lead off the kickoff, and that's when you kind of thought USM were going to be able to hold that for a little bit longer, maybe till the end of the game, and then seemingly just almost immediately Nichols just responds just with crashing our offensive zone. And that worked for them actually twice in a row. That's how they got their third goal, and that's eventually how they ended up stealing this one. I mean,
yeah, we did see good looks out of USM. I saw one from Darian that I don't know if he just didn't look for the shot because he didn't know that he had an angle on it, or what it was, but he sent it wide to the corner, and we were able to retain possession for a while, but not able to get any clean looks on net after that. So definitely some missed opportunities, but still, they're not out of the series, and it's going to hurt losing that close one, especially with Pyros kind of seemingly having an off game. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. If Pyros is going to play well, it's going to be really tough for USM, but still just 2 games in response and we'll have a tie series, and that's a great way to start on that.
I was almost strict just copy paste from game 2. USM going to start out just about the same way they did in game 2. Really early goal. I think that'll beat your time at 8 seconds there for fastest goal that you've ever seen.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is all 3 games have started with a quick goal basically off kickoff, and also we've seen a lot of goals in response off of kickoffs. So here's another one. Nichols just going to answer right away. Nobody able to get back for USM, and we pretty much have a new game here 14 seconds in.
Yep. We're going to pretty much restart. 5 minutes in, 1-1. Darian's going to try to make some magic work. Pyros is going to get over 1. Can't get by the second. Darian's going to ping it over the wall and look for another possession.
It does well there. A bit of a double commit. I'm not sure that they wanted to work together there, but it's going to be sent back to our own corner, and we want to be decisive here with these clears. That's going to work to get it out. Hydra's up, and that's a bouncer going towards the net of Nichols, and it just seems like we're getting stalled in their offensive, or I guess defensive half. So it's been really tough for us to find opportunities. Here it looks like that could have been another one, but just not having that third man commit. And if we're gonna win this series, we're gonna have to start taking some chances. Maybe not this early in game 3, but It just seems like Nichols isn't going to break without us forcing them to.
Yeah, and I do like the amount of pressure that USM's getting, but I mean, unfortunately, we have seen. I mean, as did we have with Nichols, a few missed chances on both ends here for opportunities on that. But
yeah,
overall, I do like the amount of pressure that they're getting, especially with as good as a defense that Nichols is currently putting out on the field.
Yeah, and here's going to be an opportunity for Pyros. All 3 players from USM committing to beat him. Fortunately, it's going to be blocked right into the hands of Hydra, who just had grabbed that mid boost. It's a 50-50 that's going back towards the net, but then sent into the corner. And another double commit. USM's running dry on boost. Lucas right now the only one with boost to defend. And he does well to get a block, but now, again, it's just running dry on boost. Darian the only one with boost now. He gets it out. He's actually going to get by 2. A demo on Lucas is going to make this drive get cut short.
That's
Hydra able.
Good block there in the midfield.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying it was a decent block there from Tyler in the midfield, keeping the fast break away from the USM's defensive half.
Definitely, and this is one of the longest stretches of time that we've seen without a goal. It does seem like it's kind. No, I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh my.
It was, but Pyros quickly puts an end to that. A good redirect from the wall. Nobody on USM expecting a shot there, and no one staying close to home to cover the net. So that's going to be Nichols with another lead here.
Yeah.
This time.
I mean, I'm not sure about you, but I'm just in some of these matches. At some point, you're just gonna kind of expect that Pyros or just really anyone at Nichols is just gonna be there for the shot, whether they're there or not. But USM's gonna do a good job to put that behind them. They're gonna equalize the series at 2-2 for things from a wonderful. Actually, yeah, all 3 getting a touch on that ball on that play there.
Yeah, and I think for USM, you can't really put too much weight on the way that Nichols is playing. You just have to focus on your own gameplay and doing, good team plays like they just did there, where all 3 of them are connecting. Oh, this is looking so tough for USM right now. It just looks so nervy, but they break free, and Darian's got a chance on net here. He's gonna dunk him. It goes off the post and out. That was almost deep in the net.
Gonna go right back to him.
Right out.
Yeah, it goes right back to him. Tries to get a shot on net. Plays to Hydra. He's gonna send this a little bit high. Darian tries to get to it. Can't get a good shot. Just leaves it right in front of net for Nichols.
Uh-oh. Good follow-up from Darian. That looked dangerous again.
Yeah, looked a little bit dangerous, but Pyros didn't have the boost he thought. Couldn't get up high to it as he initially wanted to. But it's a good defense here late in this game from USM.
Yeah, and I don't think it's unfair to say that this is a must-win game here for USM.
I 100% agree. And here it could be a shot.
Open net.
Hydra's
Great demo there from Hydra.
Yeah, Lucas is going to take every chance he gets. Ty gets a wonderful demo on the netminder. And USM are going to take a very late lead here in game 3.
Yeah, 30 only got to hold on for 36 seconds. The kickoff is going to be huge. There's been lots of kickoff goals, so if they can make it past this one, they'll feel really good about their chances. Pyros isn't able to make good contact. Bren hits it up to Troy, and Lucas is going to cut it out. If we can get this ball clear, that's going to kill a lot of time off the clock, and that's a huge beat from Hydra, sending it all the way down into the Nichols half.
Lucas taking his time with it.
Yeah, he's killing lots of time.
Exactly what he should be doing with it.
Darian just gonna chill in net. Pyros looks for something out in the mid, but Hydra clears out to the side. It is gonna stay up in the air. Lucas has a beat. There is still a player back for Nichols, but they're not gonna be able to make it to the ball. And USM takes back game 3 to make the series 2-1 in favor of Nichols.
Yeah, already much better response there from USM in this game 3. You saw that. You saw a little bit of what we talked about game 1 and 2 coming together for USM. A little bit more better defense, a little bit more just getting up into Pyros no matter what he did up in the challenges. You kind of saw a little bit of what I was talking about. It was like he went up and immediately one of the defenders from USM was up right there with him, and then the next defender was right behind him in exactly the spot that USM was trying to force him to go. So just need to keep that momentum going, keep the plan up and running, and as long as you get that, USM will be able to come away with this with a win.
Yeah, that was just a really good display of what we need to do to beat this Nichols team. It's kind of what you're saying. If we can do this same thing for the rest of the series, I do like our chances. And I think the best example of that was Hydra's beat with about 20 seconds left in that game, just getting up before Pyros when, if Hydra doesn't go up for that, who knows what Pyros had planned with that ball if it went uncontested. So just huge nerves, just going up and being fearless going against Pyros, and that's what they're going to need to do for the rest of the series.
Yeah. Into the USM defensive zone here, Lucas is going to try to work some magic, get it cleared, and he's going to be able to get it clear with the help of Pyros there. Lucas again.
Brent's going to be floating for a minute. Pyros is there. That's not the player you want to see with 100 boost and a free ball, but nothing's going to come of it. Hydra positioned well on the backboard, even gets a double, so he might be able to do some damage here. Darian tries to cut it out, but it's going to end up back in our zone. Nothing too threatening thus far. See if we can handle this. Darian is going to snipe it down the field, but Troy is going to be there, and it was a little bit wide of the net. But good for Darian looking for those openings in the defense, and he almost got a goal out of that one from the other side of the field. And again,
fast break here for Hydra.
Looking really good.
And you saw it's just a culmination of exactly what USM has been doing this past game and a half. This is just very good pressure on the offensive side. Just the right amount of pressure on the defensive side to get the possession and the boost that they need. And USM going to once again capitalize for an early lead here in Game 4.
Yeah, and that was great positioning from Ty. Just being where he needed to be for the shot. And Lucas, even if Ty didn't have the shot, he was in a spot where he could receive a pass. So just really overall great positioning and good teamwork from USM. Just reading each other very well and reading Nichols well. So now we're already down to almost 3 minutes left in this Game 4. And USM definitely getting some momentum. Starting to be first to these balls, and that's going to be another goal for Darian.
Yeah, I mean, exactly how you were just saying. USM's beginning to start to get a little bit of a beat on Nichols here with a lot of these balls getting very good offensive pressure here. They're going to take their first 2-goal lead of this series with 3 minutes left to play in this Game 4.
Yeah, and the same thing, like I was saying, I don't think Nichols has seen anything like USM in this playoff bracket, as Nichols gets not an equalizer but an answer to make it just a 1-goal lead. But to finish my thought, USM definitely probably caught off guard by Nichols' level of play, because the same way that Nichols hasn't seen anything like USM hasn't seen anything like Nichols. So definitely had to feel them out, and they do have a lead still. So definitely a tide swinging in this series. Oh, but there's going to be another one. And I just had to open my big mouth talking about how USM is starting to get more momentum. And then the momentum swings all the way back to even, I'd say. So we'll see what happens from here on out in this Game 4. but not what you want to see from USM. Having a bit of a hard time holding a lead, it seems, in this series.
Nice attempt there from Darian, although he couldn't get all of it just there. Lucas is going to keep this in the zone for USM, but Pyro is going to get a good clear into the back line for Hydra.
Yep, that's going to sneak by the whole Nichols defense. Pyros is going to be there to collect it. He's doing lots of work out of the back corner, but used a lot of boost. And that's a great shot from Lucas. Really patient play, just waited for Pyros to hit the ball out of the corner. And as soon as Pyros gave the ball up, he's able to sneak it over the top and through the other defenders behind him.
Yeah, wonderful goal there from Lucas. Putting USM back on top. Is trying to shift momentum back in the USM's favor. As we go into the last...
Great equalizer.
Yeah, as we go into the final 2 minutes of this game 4.
Yeah.
Oh my, what a close shot there from Pyros.
Cool.
Off the bar yet again. That's happened a lot in this series so far. We could see goal number 4. Only had more power.
Oh, left a bit of a gap in the defense, but nothing threatening out of Nichols for the moment. Great challenges coming out from the USM defense. And again, just getting these beats, and they're adding up. Ren making a diving save there. And USM's going to concede possession for the moment. Pyros looking for the midfield, but again, we're kind of back to this midfield play where neither team really seems to be putting on more pressure than the other. Except there. Oh, I thought that was going to be an amazing save from Nichols. It almost was, but it was great offense out of USM. Darian over to Ty, and Ty just hits that one too hard for Bren to keep up with.
Yeah, and even before I got to Darian, Lucas had a great chance to cut off Pyros in the midfield, and that's exactly what he did, getting it to Darian, almost on Darian's nose. When he did no boost, he still got the pass right to where Hydra was for USM's 4th goal this game.
Yep, this is the most offense we've seen out of USM in a game, and it does feel like each game they're making improvements. So if they keep that up, then we're looking pretty good in this series. But still got to close out game 4 here to even the series.
Oh, a wonderful fake there from Darian.
He almost forced an own goal. It's going to get cleared out by Bren. So the USM they're going to have to retreat on the defense, but there isn't going to be much pressure in the way of Nichols. They just don't really have the resources to get anything going.
Back out to the halfway line. And that's going to go straight to Darian. Final 10 seconds of this game. Unless Nichols is able to pull off some magic here, this will be a tied series going into game 5. 2 games apiece.
Yeah, great series so far. USM dropping the first 2 games, but swinging right back and picking up the next 2. And it just, like I was saying, it seems like we get more improvement out of USM each game, and the scoreline has reflected that. So we'll see what game 5 holds for us, if Nichols will have an answer, or if the momentum stays in USM's favor. And Pyros, he was playing like his normal self there in game 4, but it seemed like maybe the performance from his teammates wasn't exactly what it was in the 2 games that Nichols won. So I don't know if that's something to make note of, but USM definitely, all 3 players looking really well and playing well together.
Yeah, and I mean, exactly kind of how you were saying, Pyros didn't play a bad game. This was a good game for him. I mean, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 saves, and 3 shots. That does not seem any different from what he normally plays. And like you were saying we're able to get beats on him, able to get some good offensive pressure with him on net, and it seems like USM started to figure him out.
Yeah, and I don't know if he'll make any adjustments to his play style to try to counter that, or if we're just going to see both teams come out with the same game plan. But right now it seems like whatever game plan Nichols has, it's been figured out from USM.
The hider with a shot here. Nice save there from Bren. Puts it into the corner. USM on the back pedal so far. On the backboard. Leaves it for Lucas. Trying to work some stuff on the defense. Gonna cross field over to Bren on the sidewall. Darian's gonna cut that off. You see Pyro's shot. Wonderful save there from Lucas on the back pedal.
Yep, and great follow-ups from USM. Breaking back out of their zone. Darian's not going to connect on that challenge, but it gets sent back to the corner where he is. And Lucas might have a beat. No, it's going to get blocked out, but it looks like Hydra's all alone back there to make the clear. So we're in the midfield play. This is the longest that we've seen without a goal in these games. At least for the first goal of the game, anyway.
Yeah. Plays it to Pyros, and Pyros finds a spot where USM isn't. He's going to get the opening goal.
I want to see that again because it looked like maybe there should have been someone hanging around. I guess he just found the hole in the defense.
Yeah. I think we saw it a little bit there. I think Lucas was in a decent spot for it, but he was turned around, I think, for the second time already this game, so he tried to go for a squishy save. A little bit risky there, and it definitely, unfortunately, didn't pay off for him.
Yeah. There's going to be a demo, but Darian is privy to it, and he's going to get a clear. It almost went all the way downfield and into the net, but just wide. And some more challenges out of USM. Ty's going to do a good job disrupting Pyros, but there's going to be a little bit of a traffic jam in the corner. We'll see what USM is able to do here with some space and time. Again, bunching up on offense. They're going to need to sort these things out if they're going to keep these attacks going. But this is a good first push for them. It's the best push that we've seen in the first 2 minutes here. Almost an answer right away from Nichols. It gets sent downfield. Pyros isn't able to connect on a return hit. It's going to go backwards. But he collects the ball and starts going downfield again. Sam, I don't know about you, but I can't really tell who's looking better right now for the second goal.
I was like, they're looking kind of equal here. I mean, you see both teams getting good chances on the offensive sides of their zones respectively, but neither able to capitalize.
Yeah, it just seems like when there is an opportunity that a player from the opposing team is just barely cutting it out, and then the other team takes possession. So yeah, lots of back and forth right now. We'll see which team breaks first. Obviously right now Nichols doesn't have to do anything crazy, they just have to hold on to this lead. But with still 2 minutes left, there's plenty of time for USM to get something going without having to start rushing and making any risky decisions. They can just kind of play their game and wait for a chance to come.
50 played here from Lucas, and that's going to go straight to a Nichols attacker, and he's going to make him pay.
Yeah, and Ty, he was kind of at the back post, but I don't think he was expecting the shot to go to the same side of that net as him, so he crept up a little bit and wasn't able to get back to it. It went over his back shoulder. So that is 2-0 for Nichols with a minute 30 left. It's not an impossible comeback, but they're going to need to start getting something together, because just like we saw in game number 2, when Nichols has a 2-goal advantage with this much time left, they do a great job, and they're going to do a great job there too. It just seems like they really turn it up. They get all this confidence from having these multiple goal leads, and they just kind of unleash, and that is a 75-mile-per-hour unleashment onto the USM net. So this one, I don't want to call it this early.
I would say I don't want to call it either too early either, but this one could be out of reach. We're gonna if we don't want to call it, we're gonna have to see some pretty large offensive movements here from USM early, and that's gonna help.
There's something.
That's gonna help. That's gonna help a lot. Ty's gonna open up scoring here for USM. 51 seconds left. That's definitely gonna help USM's chances here. They want to keep it.
Not a lot of time came off the clock, so back to 2 goals and 51 seconds left. Obviously, you would want to see a second goal out of USM sooner rather than later. Oh, what a save!
What a wonderful save!
It looked risky. Pyros respawns, and he's gonna get back to it. That was a prime opportunity. Just honestly, a lucky respawn, and Pyros barely able to get back to it. Still pressure from USM. Hydra gets it off to the side, isn't able to connect on the pre-flip, so Darian's gonna have to do some work here. 24 seconds left. They need to go quick.
On this next attack here, where you almost need to score.
Definitely. If this ball comes back into our half and isn't sent back immediately, that'll basically do it. Lucas gets a good attack on net, but no follow-up. Just not getting as aggressive as they should be for the time and score, but well played from Nichols. We did see some hope, and USM's going to get a consolation goal. So honestly, I do think that goal matters. It didn't win us the game.
Oh, that goal
it didn't
100%.
tie the game.
100% that goal matters.
Yeah,
that's gonna
definitely. We've scored the last 2 goals now, so they will not feel bad. Obviously, winning 2 in a row against this team. Yes, they've already done it this series. But it's not an easy task. They had to fight for it. They're gonna have to keep fighting for it. But having that momentum going into an elimination game 6, it definitely is important.
Yeah, and you saw it. You saw it a little bit last night. I mean, USM had 3 straight eliminations games, being down 3-1 against New Mexico State. Yet they were able to pull through. They were able to make the changes and make the adjustments, and they got the win. And you saw you saw a little bit of it here. They were back up against the wall, 2-0 deficit going into game 3, and USM pulls it back even going into game 5. And even if you saw that they lost game 2, but they exited game. They saw that game 5. You saw that they exited game 5 with all the momentum, like you said, scoring those last 2 goals. That should and hopefully play a factor here in this game, elimination game 6. So we're gonna have to see in this next 5 minutes what USM has as an answer.
Yeah, and I feel like I say this every time that USM's down in a series or drop a game, but getting the first goal of the game is hugely important. So they got the last 2 goals of game 5. They really ought to get this first one here in game 6 to really set the tone.
In the corner here, Troy, nice clear. Pyros is gonna try and get a touch on it. Does get a touch. Played nicely by Tyler. That's gonna be a nice clear for Lucas. Ty giving him a little bit of help there.
Then high to the backboard. Ty dealing with it well. Now it's going to be a huge clear out, putting pressure on Nichols. Lucas is there. He had an open net, but he didn't really have boost to aim the shot, so he just puts it to the corner where we can keep going for it. See if we're able to get some beats. A little bit of an overextension. We're not going to get punished for it, though. And again with this back and forth, neither team breaking here early in game 6.
I trying to make some more. Ran out of boost, so I had to leave. I'm gonna leave it for Lucas. Full boost tank now, depending on Pyro, send it right over to Darian. He's gonna send it back into midfield. Shot over the bar, gonna go straight to Darian, trying to get a shot center. Ty can't get to it. Troy's there on defense.
Lucas with a great challenge to send it back. Bren looked a little awkward there. Troy gonna be first to this ball, but he doesn't have boost to work with, so he's gonna miss. And we're gonna have a chance for a counterattack if Nichols isn't able to clear it out. But of course, Pyros is gonna have that clear. USM though, definitely taking some possession here. looking for a chance to get something going on offense. Just keeps getting broken apart by Nichols. See how long they can hold that up for. Darian with the carry. He looks for the demo. Pyros is able to dodge it pretty easily. And that's going to go middle. A good save from Nichols. And good job from them to relieve the pressure. They're going to get a chance of their own. That's top corner, but off the crossbar again. Huge beat from Lucas, and Pyros has no boost back. So this might be another chance. Darian with the boost steal. And Nichols is on the back foot right now.
Yeah.
We got to keep this ball in if we're going to keep this offense going. Darian's going to have a chance to put it back in. And Nichols hasn't had a chance to reset yet. So, oh, and a big miss is going to come out. And Hydra's going to miss. And Darian's going to barely get that ball out from in front. We're in trouble, though. And that's going to be a goal. A tough breakdown from USM.
Yeah.
It looked like they might have a chance to get out of this without a goal being scored on them, but just unable to get that last save.
Oh, they were nearly able to get away from that. Ty had a good chance for a clear, but Pyros was able to get quite a monster bump on him. And Ty trying to pay it right back, going for a solo dunk play there. Nearly gets it by Pyros.
90 seconds left. USM needs to score. Another block from Nichols. And this one's sent into our corner. It's out in front. Nichols isn't able to connect on it. Darian's going to go the other way. Hydra with the challenge. Darian with a follow-up and another challenge. This goes up high. Lucas beat out by Pyros.
And that's
Hydra,
a pinch.
huge challenge. That's going to go straight into the Nichols net. And that's going to equalize the game here with just over a minute left in Game 6.
It's a wonderful pinch there from Ty. Just doing what he can to keep it in the zone. Little does he know he's going to put it in the back of the net.
And we saw a similar goal to that earlier in the series from Lucas, getting a pinch off the Nichols player. And USM's not going to go down without a fight. Another hit long from Nichols. Collected by Darian up on the backboard. He's bumped. But a good recovery from Darian. He has an open net, and he's able to finish the goal. He was getting harassed on his way towards that breakaway, but he was able to use his flip and just barely get a piece of it. Actually got a flip reset off of Pyros.
I was like, he got a flip reset off of Pyros, and that's what gave him that extra bit of push to get around the last defender.
Yeah, and it looked like it might have been close to him still having his flip, but regardless, he definitely had time to flip after getting that reset. I haven't really seen a goal like that before, so that was quite interesting to see. Now, 17 seconds left. USM just needs to hold on here.
Darian up.
Darian, huge beat.
Huge clear here in the corner of Nichols.
Yeah,
send it
and
mid
we
to
don't need to
Hydra.
commit too hard, but that's gonna do it. Game 6, unless something absolutely ridiculous happens, Game 6 is gonna go to USM. Great job. They equalized with a minute left and then get 2 more goals in the final minute. And they're holding on. They're gonna force Game 7 here. Yeah, this kickoff isn't gonna see anything happen for Nichols. Game 7 in the finals of the ECAC playoffs.
Winner go home, Game 7. I don't think you could have asked for any better of a matchup.
No, and I don't know if Nichols was expecting this type of performance out of USM. It kind of seems like they didn't really have this tough of competition. USM knew what they were up against, and they've been taking it right to Nichols, not backing down from the challenge. And we made it this far in the series, so now it's just one more game, and that will decide the championship.
We're going to send straight into this winner go home trophy match, Game 7 of this playoff grand finals, possibly the largest singular game that USM has ever played, but don't tell them that.
Yeah, I think without a doubt it is. They don't need to know that though until the result comes in. Hopefully they're able to match Nichols here in this last game. But this is going to be a barn burner. And early possession here, I would say goes to USM. We got it in their half. Not a lot of boost here, but actually 2 players able to grab boost from USM. And the net was kind of opened up. Another demo comes out. Who's going to be there for USM? It's going to be blocked away by Hydra. And this has been quite an eventful 30 seconds, but no goals have been scored yet.
Yeah, Ty comes out with a musty, trying to get a pass mid. Looking for Lucas. Lucas had to back off because of the defender. We see a shot.
Oh, that net might be open. And Nichols is going to strike first in game 7.
Yeah. Not the best of starts there from USM. Not gonna lie.
No,
I'll let you finish.
Not really sure what happened on the defensive side, but all 3 players from Nichols were pushed up pretty far, and if there was someone back for USM, it wasn't really the best position for Nichols to be in, but given that no one was back. Oh, Troy with just an absolutely demoralizing goal right off the kickoff. Hits it to the backboard and gets the double tap. The defender from USM not able to connect on that.
I mean, that's also
we are gonna have.
Sorry, what? That's a good shot from Nichols.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful shot.
Yeah. We'll have some work to do here to fight back in this game 7 early.
Oh yeah. Nothing USM can't handle though.
See if they're able to get something going. Hopefully those 2 goals early aren't gonna shake their confidence. That gets sent long, and that's gonna be in the net. Darian with a huge answer. Yeah. And now they're not gonna have to dwell on that second goal from Nichols very long because it's just been erased. And now we're back to 1 goal.
Yeah, just as you were saying about, I don't know, 15 seconds earlier, USM's not gonna have to worry about any nerves being shaken off there. They just shook them off right there. They're gonna start the momentum train. Hopefully they can stay on it. That's Darian, 2 straight demos. Goals there from 2 goals. 2 demos there from Darian.
Unfortunately, it was Pyros that was left standing for Nichols, and he did well to relieve the pressure, let his teammates respawn. That's going to be a miss from USM. Hydra's the only one back, and nobody's going to get back from USM. I'm not sure where everyone was, but another breakdown on defense. And yeah, Hydra, he did his best there. If he sent that across the net, it was going to be tough. There was a defender, the defender of his clear was right in front of the net looking to clean it up. And again, back to 2 goals. But
immediately back to 1.
As quickly as it went back to 2, it is even quicker to go back to 1. A side flip from Troy. That one did not look like it was going to be a goal until Troy just dodged the ball there. But USM definitely needed that, and they're going to look for some early pressure here off the kickoff. Darian gets it out in front, a good hit. Pyros gets it to the side. He's not going to have boost to follow it up, though. Hydra looking to make something happen here. Pyros again with a clear, a good controlled touch, too. And Nichols now with some pressure. It goes off the backboard. Lucas isn't able to make contact, but the shot's wide. And now USM trying to buy time to get some boost and get this pressure off them, but Nichols wants nothing to do with that. They just keep peppering the net. Darian there with a huge block. The net was almost open. He was able to sneak it past the defense, but not on target. And now here's a chance from Ty. It's again going to be sent into the corner. He gets it blocked, and Lucas is going to be up for that. It goes middle, but it's blocked away, and that's a breakaway for Nichols. Just an overextension from USM.
Yeah, and as much as it would have paid off, I'm not sure. I'm not sure Darian ever expected that touch there from Bren.
Yeah, and it definitely looked like it could have gone through the defense and been a shot for Darian, but I don't know with how much time was left that was the one that they needed to go all in for. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. But now the pressure is on for USM. Darian needs to get back to this ball. He's just barely going to, but he didn't put enough on the ball to get it clear of the goal. And that's going to be a 3-goal lead for Nichols. He's going to want that one back because I know Darian had the angle to get a little bit more on it, but he was so concerned with just getting it out from on target that he wasn't able to put enough on it to get it clear of the net. And now, definitely some pressure on USM to respond.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see almost kind of all out offense here in this last minute and a half here from USM.
Yeah, they don't have time to be tentative. They need to throw the kitchen sink at Nichols here and see what they can make happen. If you get scored on again, it doesn't make a difference. With this much time left, you have to make a play. So here goes Hydra. Over the top of the defense, it's not going to be saved out from Pyros, and that's going to keep USM alive here. 2 goals down and a minute left.
Yeah, well, a wonderful goal there from Ty, picking out the defense just as they were trying to get back, not in time for Pyros, but in time for Ty to get it in the back of the net. And here's a nice, nice clear.
Troy with the miss and a demo, but nobody from USM's there. Can we get it past his defense? No. Pyros makes a huge hit with no boost, and USM is gonna need to get this ball back under possession because they're running out of time here. Kind of an all-in play from Nichols.
Yeah.
They're going to be undermanned. If we can just send it past this defense, we need to get a clear. Nichols doing a really good job of keeping it in. Hydra's going to get it out for the time being. We can't let them get any more clears back. A missed shot there from Hydra and a really big block from Darian. It's going to send the Nichols defense scrambling here. 17 seconds left. We need to act now. Someone's gotta have a challenge, have a shot. It's not gonna come, and it looks like it's just too little too late, and USM is going to drop game 7, and that's Nichols taking the championship. But a very strong showing out of USM, out of both teams. That was a great series.
Yeah, honestly, a wonderful series there. USM placing their absolute best that they have ever done in the history of this program, not only getting to this grand finals match, but taking the eventual champions to a do or die game 7. Gotta give all of USM and all of Nichols the props they deserve.
Yeah, definitely. And although the result didn't go exactly how USM wanted it, still, like I said, a very strong showing from them. No reason to hang their heads. Definitely every reason to be proud, not only for this series and the battle that they just took part in, but the season as a whole. Fantastic season out of this team.
Yeah. All right. Unless you have anything else, I'm going to do some closing things, and then we can close the ECAC season for spring of 26.
Yeah, take us out.
All right, we've got a few more matches for USM heading up into the rest of the week. We have an Overwatch match for NECC Nationals starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And we do indeed have more Rocket League, although it's not ECAC. We did win last night against New Mexico State and the NECC Nationals round of 16. We will have a match I believe is being rescheduled to Tuesday at 9:30, so tune in for that one. I believe I can be there. I'm not sure if you are open for that night, but if you are, we can have a wonderful night Tuesday, and right back into Wednesday if we win that game Tuesday for Nationals semifinals, which is, I believe, this is already the farthest this team has gotten all this season. I think if we can push it any further, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats to Lucas, Hydra, and Darian on a great season. And we'll see what the other USM teams can do going forward.